Hello, my name is Jane Wake and welcome to The Powerful Pregnancy. I'm the creator of this program. I'm a fitness expert and I've been working in the pre and postnatal field for over 15 years. Now today's workout is for the third trimester. It's a cardio and strength workout, specifically working on your strength and your deep core muscles to prepare you for birth. Now you do need a mat, you also need to be in some nice comfy clothing and also have some cushions or some towels to use as props. Now we do use these bands, but don't worry if you don't have any bands, you can do the whole workout without. You also need some water to hand, and if you've got all those things then you're set and ready to go. And welcome to this third trimester cardio and strength class. I think we're just going to get moving, don't you? So let's just start with our rocking the baby. So we're just going to turn side to side. I'm going to introduce you to everybody again. So I've got Aditi is there, and I've got Jana next to me here, and I've got Kirsten on my other side here. So we've all been working out together for quite a while now. We've had a little bit of break, come back to this class, and we're going to do around a 20-minute cardio strength class for you, but it's all for that third trimester. So we're starting to prep towards the birth now. We want to keep our strength up, we want to keep our energy levels up, but we also want to think about the birth and what we need to do. So two really key points that we need to be focusing on is keeping the hips nice and open. So as you're doing the rocking the baby, I want you to think about lengthening through and lifting through your core. We want to be able to engage those core muscles. So try to lift up through from the back of the pelvic floor into the front. It's quite hard to do when your feet are wide in this position, but definitely still possible. So just think about that height in your and that length in your body. So let's bring the feet back in now. And we're just going to start just doing some foot pedals, just to start warming the feet up. And girls, as we do this, because we haven't done a class for a few weeks here in the studio, I want you all to just, with a very soft movement, and you can do this at home as well, just do a little monitor, a little test of how far you can lift your pelvic floor up and inside you, and feel your core muscles coming in, feel your belly coming away from your hands as you connect to your core. So let's just hold the feet down and then just draw up through the core of the feet. So press through the inside of the ball of the feet. Imagine gathering your mat up underneath your feet, and then do that big scoop up from the back of the pelvic floor and into your belly, and lift up and up and up and up and up. And then relax and bring it back down. Take a breath for me. I didn't say take a breath. Was anyone holding their breath then? I hope you went at home. Let's all do a big, nice big breath. Inhale, exhale, relax. And then scoop up from the back of the pelvic floor. Draw up through the feet if you can, but it's that pelvic floor you want to lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then relax. Let's go back into our rocking the baby. Now, how far did you manage to lift up, Aditi? How are you feeling? Aditi got to 2. Now, I know Aditi's not been very well, and she's been coughing quite a lot. And that does put a lot of pressure on your pelvic floor. And if you get sick, you get ill, and that happens to you, it does mean you have to keep working that pelvic floor a little bit more strongly. So look at our Pilates class in this particular series for that one, because that's going to help you. We're really going to focus on that in the Pilates class. Jana, how did you feel? 4, brilliant. Kirsten, 4, brilliant. Okay, so remember, that's a really good way to monitor your pelvic floor. You want to try and keep working up towards 4. The more pregnant you get, it gets a little bit harder because the weight of the baby is pressing down. So if it's only 2 or 3, don't worry about it, but just keep working that pelvic floor. The more you do it, the more you use it, then the stronger it's going to get. Let's take the feet back in and go back to those foot pedals even, but now we're going to start picking the foot up off the floor, but we're going to stay active in this class. So I want you to peel your right foot off the floor, but engage your pelvic floor. So lift up 1, 2 as much as you can, but 2 is fine, and then take your right foot off the floor, but we're going to immediately step back and go onto the ball of the foot. I then want you to squeeze your buttock, bending your back knee behind you. So if you can see that side on, we're tucking the tail and squeezing the right buttock. Open through your chest and just vertically take a breath. Inhale, exhale, lift up through the pelvic floor, drop down and then lift back up, squeeze into your buttocks and change sides. Peel the left foot off the floor, hold and balance. Lift up through your pelvic floor, take the left foot off the floor. Take the foot back behind, bend your back knee, so bend your left knee, squeeze your left buttock, open through your chest, and then lower down and squeeze up into your buttocks and step back in. So we're going to do that a bit more quickly, and just taking one leg back behind, going through the motions, but squeezing the buttocks, lifting the pelvic floor as you lower down, and then lift back up and squeeze. So take a breath, inhale, exhale, lift the leg up off the floor, take the leg back behind you, bend the back knee, squeeze into your buttocks, lower down, and then lift back up. We're going to do that in our own time a couple more times. Everybody okay? So just go through those motions, and we'll change our speed a little bit because I want everyone to individually think about how they're doing it. Can you feel your pelvic floor as you come up? Aditi, can you feel it? Yeah, good, perfect. And then we're just going to do one more in our own time. So you focus on you. Just think about feeling your glute working, your buttocks working, and then getting that lower sliding down, keeping the back vertical, and then lifting up into your buttocks. Let's go back into the rocking the baby again. And just keep it moving. Now from here we're going to do a squat movement to warm up. So if you are struggling to find your pelvic floor, so when you did that little test, if you could only get to second floor or maybe third floor, I'm going to ask you to do your squat with something between your knees. So I'm going to use a couple of blocks here. And at home you can use a cushion or a rolled up towel. We're going to start off by standing nice and tall, drop through the arches of the feet. Take a breath for me, inhale, and you're just going to squat back just a little way, and your weight goes into your heels. Your back stays nice and long, and your eye level will drop down. I'm looking up at you right now, but I actually want you to not look at me. Bring your chin in, work the shoulders down, and very importantly, the back stays nice and long. You're then going to take a breath, inhale, exhale, draw up through the core of the foot, pull up through the core of the pelvis, and then lift all the way up and come up with the arms onto your toes and hold that position, lengthen into your neck. Take another breath, inhale, exhale, lower the arms, lower the heels, and then drop back into a squat position. Take another breath, inhale, exhale, lift up through the pelvic floor, lift up through and squeeze your buttocks as you come up. And if you do a little clicking with your heels, like Dorothy clicking in her heels, and that will really help you to connect your core and lift up through your center and squeeze your buttocks as well. And then we'll do that again. Lower down, take a breath as you go down, and then inhale, exhale, lift up through your center and come back up. So we're going to do two more of those. Take a breath, inhale, exhale. Now we're going to drop down, take the body down, inhale, exhale, and then lift back up. And then do one more for me. Okay there, Kirsten? Okay, and then inhale, exhale, lower down, and then inhale, exhale, and lift back up. Well done. Okay, squeeze your buttocks, hold, 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 and then release. Well done. And then one more movement to warm up. We're going to take the right leg back behind, left leg in front, and release those calf muscles, and that's really important. And we're going to do this with a kind of running action with our arms. So lift the arms up, and then lift the arms up and squeeze into your buttocks as you lift. Now, all the while we're doing this, we're trying to create length at the front of the hip. So your right leg is lengthened and you're squeezing your bottom. So do two more for me, one more for me, and then we're going to hold the heel down but keep the arms moving. So just move the arms, and as you do this, start to move at your waist and start to look side to side. Now slow it down a little bit because your balance will go. Now try and find your pelvic floor again. Lift into your center, lift up through and engage. Fantastic. And then change sides. So take the left foot back behind. Remember those tram lines, yeah? That's the feet staying in those tram lines. So try to avoid your heel turning in, and then lift up and lower down. Is everybody okay? Yeah, you're starting to warm up, hopefully. Hope you are at home too. So get that heel going back down to the floor each time, lengthening through your calf muscle and getting that release in your calf. And then we'll do that a few more times and then start to move the arms. And just as if you're doing a running action, now lift up, squeeze into your buttocks. Can you feel your core muscles coming in as you lift up? Just try it. Lift up through your core. Lift up through your pelvic floor and into your belly. If you're not sure, put your hands underneath your bump and see if you can feel your bump coming in as you lift up. Yeah, feel that? Brilliant. Okay, go for two more. One more. Now we're going to hold the heel down and stretch the calf. Just move the arms and then start to look one way and then the other. You might want to slow it down just a little bit. Set and do that 4 more times, 3 more, last 2 and last 1. Well done. Okay, I'm going to encourage the girls to go to the back wall now to just hold on to something and do a quad stretch and a hip stretch. You're going to take a hold of one foot and then bring the knees together and then lift up and open through the front of your thigh. Now I'm doing this without holding on to anything. I suggest you do hold on to something just so you can stabilize yourself and so you can really try and lengthen out through the front of your thigh. But you can hold on to anything, maybe the back of the sofa or onto a window ledge, something that's near to you, and then lift in through your center and think of pushing your kneecap down. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, draw up through the pelvic floor and into your belly. So you're really getting that good control through your core muscles as you try and get some length into the front of your thigh. And then change legs, other side, take the knees together, lift in through your center, take a breath, inhale, exhale, draw up through those core muscles as you push your kneecap to the floor and you lengthen through the front of the thigh. Now we've done quite a bit of warming up, so it's a good time now to try and start opening these hips. But the more movement you do, the warmer you are, the better these stretches will be. So I'll encourage you to stop at any point through your workout and do these stretches. Now we're going to do the hip stretch. Again, the girls are going to hold onto the bar. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see me doing it. You cross your foot over your front thigh. Hold on to some support, make sure it doesn't move, and then just drop your weight back. Work the shoulders down, push your knee out to the side, and just stick your bottom out behind you as well. So I'm going to do it wrong for a second. I'm going to tuck my tailbone underneath me, and you don't want that. You want your bottom out, shoulder blades down, chin in, back up nice and tall. So you're getting that length into your hip muscles here. And change legs at the side. So again, knee out to the side, cross your foot over your thigh, and then drop your weight down. Keep that, pushing that knee out to the side, getting that length into the front of your, deep into your hip, and then hold, trying to balance myself, and then lift in through your center. So stick your bottom out behind you, push the knee out to the side, and then release it. Well done. Okay, so I'm going to encourage the girls to grab hold of their bands, and we're going to do a lunge and row exercise. Yeah. Now I'm going to do this slightly differently. You may not have something to attach your bands to at home. So I'm going to do this with using my foot, the bands underneath my foot. So we're going to go into a lunge position. So if you're at home and you haven't got support for your bands, you're going to put the one band underneath your left foot. We're all going to step back with the right leg into a lunge position. Lift up through your center, squeezing your right buttock, exactly the same as we've already practiced in the warm-up. You're then going to pull the band back behind you, rowing back behind you as the left arm comes forward, drop down, and then lift back up and squeeze into your bottom. That's it. And then lower down, and then lift back up and squeeze into your bottom. And we're going to go up to 15 repetitions, but this is really important. I want you to stop when you feel you can't do any more. You have to listen to your own body. This is essential. So numbers is just a number. It's not about doing a certain number. It's about how it feels to you. So listen to your body. Think about how it's fatiguing. Where are you feeling this? Can you still feel your core at the top of the movement? So as you come up, take a breath, inhale, exhale, lift up to the pelvic floor, and then lower down and lift. You don't have to take a breath on every single movement, but it can help. So DT, you feel you've done enough? Yeah? Okay, so you can change sides and start working on the other side. So Aditi stopped then. That was really important. She knew she'd done enough, and so she stopped. So you do the same. You could do some stretches now in between while Kirsten and Jana are still doing their one leg, or you can start working into the other side. So Aditi and I are going to start doing that now. So put the band underneath your right foot if you haven't got an attachment, and then Aditi's going to work exactly the same, and then starting on the other side and lowering down, and then lifting back up. So it doesn't matter if we're all doing it slightly differently, because, hey, this is individual. We're all working individually. What I would like you all to be conscious of as you're doing this is what's happening in your right buttock right now. So that's the leg that's forward. And you need to make sure, and I'm going to turn around and face you, that your knee doesn't fall in. Yeah. So as you're lowering and lifting now, one way to feel this is through the control in your buttock on the right side. So you should push your knee out slightly and feel your right buttock working a little bit. Can you feel that? If you push your knee out, yeah? And that will help you to gain more stability and ensure that your knee isn't dropping in as you're doing these movements. How are you all doing? Everybody okay? Yeah? Now, just focus on your pelvic floor for me, everybody. So at the top, find your pelvic floor, then lower down and lift back up. So stop when you feel you've had enough. If you want to do your quad stretches, your hip stretches in between, you can. or you can go back into doing rocking the baby if you're waiting for everyone else to finish. So just keep the body moving. That's really important. How are we doing? You okay? Keep working the shoulder blades down. Keep lifting through your center. Everybody done? Fabulous. So up to 15 repetitions. If you feel you can do more than 15, you might want to use a little bit more resistance. Yeah? You could use a slightly stronger band or just pull away from your band a little bit more. So we're now going to start to go into those birthing squats. So we're going to turn to the side. So we're going to face this way. And we're going to slide our hands down our thighs. We've got this slight forward lean position. And that's actually really important. And what you can do at home is you can use a support to do this. So again, you can hold onto the back of the sofa, or if you've got a countertop or something you can put your hands onto, you can. But we're going to just do these freestanding at the moment, and we're just going to rock side to side. Now, Aditi, I want you to tell me if you're struggling to feel your pelvic floor, in which case you're going to grab your blocks and put them between the knees, and you're just going to do a little push side to side. Yeah? That feel okay? Yeah? Okay, so a weight is back and the spine is long, and that's really important. When you've got blocks or you've got a cushion or something between your knees, your angle might be slightly different. That's because the feet are much narrower and it's harder to keep your back upright and still squat back, okay? So it doesn't matter if we're slightly lower with the back or slightly higher with the back. What's important is the back is long. Yep, the spine is long. So I'm going to do it wrong for a second, and I'm going to tuck. Yep. Now you don't want your back doing that. You want your spine nice and long. Yep. So whether you're going wide or narrow, your back and spine is nice and long. Okay, so just rock on the heels. Can we rock down a little bit lower? Just a little bit lower. See if you can rock down a little bit lower. You feeling okay, Aditi? Yeah. Okay. So both the girls are making a really good point there. When your feet are narrower, it's harder to actually feel the movement. Okay, you can't rock quite so well. So I think that's what you're saying, isn't it? Okay. So you feel more supported because you're more upright. Okay. So this is a really good point. You've got to find out what works best for you. What's important is that core connection, lifting in through your center. Yep, so can you feel it? So just holding this position, lift up through your pelvic floor and into your belly. There should be a slight forward lean. You're not completely upright. It's not like a plie ballet squat. There's a slight forward lean in the body, so your bottom is going back just a little bit. But you need to feel your glutes working, and you need to feel your thigh muscles working as well. So the whole of the leg area should be working. Now, the lower you go, so if I drop down a little bit lower, the harder it's going to be. Yeah, and then you'll feel it just that little bit more. So a birthing squat position is this position that I'm in right now. You wouldn't be rocking if you were actually giving birth, but the rocking sensation really helps to keep the body moving and release tension in the body. It's also good for your core muscles to have an element of movement while they're working. Nothing should be dead still. Yeah, everything should be moving. That's functional. That's good for the body. Okay, I think that's enough for that one. Okay, so just relax your legs. Everyone is dying in the studio. Okay, so if you do want to do a stretch now, you can go and find your support and do a quad stretch. While the girls are doing that, I'm going to show you, if you don't have something to hold your bands onto, what you can do is take a band for this next exercise, put it around your back, and then just hold the band taut, and you literally can work into a chest press position with the band behind your back rather than attached to a wall, okay? The only thing, if you haven't got it attached to something, I say a wall, it could be attached to a door. You can get those little loops that you can put behind with a kind of stopper on that you can put behind a door, shut the door, and hold your bands onto that. They're really easy to get a hold of. That piece of support is really useful because it's helping to stabilize you. So that's one of the advantages of using bands as opposed to, say, free weights. It actually gives you that better core connection. So that's a good reason to use the band attached to a fixed point. But this is great as well. So if you haven't got a fixed position, then you can do this. So everybody's going to take the bands into the right hand. So if you can do that at home as well, your right leg's going to be back behind you, left leg's going to be forward. Come up and squeeze into your buttocks, and then we're going to start lowering and lifting. So you're facing the front now, guys. So turn around. And you can just use one band, actually. Just use your blue band. That's it. Okay? And then we're going to lower down and then lift back up and squeeze into the buttocks. Now remember, when you're doing this, the temptation is to push the body weight forwards. You've got to remember that straight line with the back. So you squeeze, you lift in through your center, lower down, and then lift back up. And we were doing the squats there, and we had that kind of slight forward lean. Now, Aditi made a very good point that she could feel her core muscles as well with that lean forward. So for her, working upright in the wide squat, it made it easier to feel her core. This is so important that you think and feel this through, yeah? So can you feel your core muscles in this position? And this is another reason why it's really good to keep the body upright. So lift through your center and take your time a little bit. Yep, so if you're going at a different pace to us, that's absolutely fine. You can slow it down, you can speed it up, as long as you can feel that core connection as you're working through. That's good. Okay, and we're going to go for 4 more on this one. Now you can stop now if you want to, or you can keep going. Entirely up to you. Go for 2 more. And then 1 more. And then come back up. We're going to change legs. Everybody okay? Okay, so change legs, change sides. Other side, come up nice and tall, squeeze into your buttocks. And then again, you're going to lower down and lift back up and squeeze. And lower down and lift back up and squeeze. Now lift in through your center and come back up. Now, the other thing is, if you find you're struggling with the band, if you wanted to, you could just take your band away and do the exercise without, and that's fine as well. Think about how it feels to you. Keep the body moving, keep working through those core muscles. Because essentially what these exercises are about keeping the body moving using your core and doing it functionally. Everybody okay? Yeah? Very good point. Okay, so let's go back to rocking the baby. Well done, relax. So Gianna just said there, what do I do when I find that my bump starts hitting my thigh? Okay, so more upright. So if I turn to the side here, so what's happening is Gianna comes down, she's feeling her bump going into her thigh. Keep the back up taller, really work. What you've got to watch for though is that you don't then arch, yeah? So you've got to squeeze your buttock right underneath you, keep up nice and tall, and then lower down, keeping your back up nice and upright. You will get to a point where you can't actually squat and lunge so low. So when you really feel uncomfortable, you won't be able to drop all the way down. You'll have to go a little bit lower. But here's the other thing. It's all about the up. It's all about that position. Doesn't matter how low you go, it's about coming up tall, opening the front of the pelvis, using your glutes, yeah? Let's try another set of squats on this side. I'm going to put the blocks between so that you know you've got the option to do it in a narrow position. And you'll see the position of my back will change a little bit. The girls are going to do it. Do you want to use the blocks? Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is support behind the wall. Okay, so you two do your squats. Okay, so I'm going to get Kirsten to do her squats against the wall. So she's going to use the blocks. Okay, so if we can have a side view on this one, and you're going to drop down, yep, and just squat. But really squeeze, work the shoulder blades down. Okay, how does that feel? That feels much better. Yeah, bit vulnerable. So Kirsten was saying that she was feeling a little bit vulnerable with her legs wide because she's had this issue, which is SBD, symphysis pubis dysfunction, pelvic girdle pain. Now, you never, ever, ever push into pain. Yeah, you always make sure that your exercises feel safe. You want to be challenged, but you always want to feel in control, and that's really important. So always question something if it doesn't. Stop. Yep, reassess it, try it again, changing the movement. If it still doesn't work, move on to the next exercise. How are you two doing? You okay? Yeah? Perfect. Absolutely, really important question. Okay, so Jana's just asked me, what stage of labour would you want to be doing this? Well, it's certainly not actually as you're giving birth, it's the stage before. The reason why this rocking movement is so good to do is that it keeps the body moving, yeah? And you're releasing the hips. This position is also very gravity assisted, just here. So it's opening the birthing canal with the bottoms just slightly behind you, and it enables the baby's head to drop down. So it's a really good open position for you to give birth in. You can squat and give birth. You would probably just hold and bear down in this position I'm in right here, but you wouldn't be doing the rocking. All of this is doing is giving you choices, yeah? And if you know you are practiced in these positions, it just means you're that much more likely to just naturally use them. And it's just giving you choice. And hey, while we're doing it, you're getting really strong legs and a really toned butt, okay? And a strong core, yeah? So that's why we're doing it as well. But it's giving you positions that become natural to you so that if you do want to use them in birth, you can. Okay, we're going to finish off with some stretches now. So the girls are going to go to the bar. The important stretches are a calf stretch. So if you take one leg back behind you, extending and lengthening the leg back behind, lifting into your center, and then you need to make sure you're doing that on both sides. So we're just going to run through these quite quickly now, but feel free to carry on stretching after the video is finished. So we'll change legs now. Take the other leg back behind, releasing tension in the other calf. And remember, if you wanted to then come and do the Pilates class where we'll do a lot more stretching, we're going to be doing a Pilates class as well. You could come and do that again the same day or maybe the next day to give you a little bit more length. And then we're going to do a hip stretch. You're going to cross one foot in front of the other, stick your bottom back behind you. Kirsten, are you okay doing that stretch? Yeah. Some people, when you're doing, if you have SBD, you may find the stretch too much, in which case don't do it. Yeah. If you have that symphysis pubis pain, again, remember, do not push into pain. Never, ever, 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 ever. That's a warning sign. Your body's telling you something. Don't do it. Yeah. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to do a quad stretch to finish off. So just bringing the knees in together, pushing the hips open at the front, lifting through your core, again, engaging your core, pushing your kneecap down towards the floor. And then releasing. So I hope you found that was a useful workout to do, nice and quick, just a little bit of cardio and strength. Keep connecting to your core, and if you'd like a little bit more pelvic floor focus and more stretching, do come and join us with our Pilates classes as well. Hello, I hope you enjoyed the workout, and if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Now, if you had some issues like Kirsten did throughout the class, she has that issue with her SBD. If, like Gianna, you wanted to ask me a question and you really wanted to ask me in the middle of the workout, or if, like Aditi, you needed to adapt your exercise or you felt you needed to do, please do comment below the workout, because the comments are there for us to view and for us to be able to feedback and create more workouts specifically for you.